Feel like throwing the game? Want a full red screen on your career screen? Then why not lock in Jett? Hello everybody and welcome back to another ProGuides video. My name is Trey and for today's video I want to give you guys some tips to destroy the competition on Jett. If you're looking to add more dimensions and layers to your game rather than just running in and dying, you're in good hands. A lot of these points I will mention are from watching very high elo players or pros such as Wardell, Tens, and Asu, so these are guaranteed to improve your gameplay if you implement them properly. Let's use our tailwind and dash into our question of the day. For our question of the day, I want to ask you guys, what agent do you guys just despise playing against? There are a lot of agents that just tick you off just because they're so annoying in what they do. This question is very fitting for our video as you might expect me to say that Jett is the worst, but actually I very dislike Raze just a little bit more. Even though she did get a bunch of nerfs, her playstyle with her paint shell and satchels are incredibly tilting when you die to them. So much for abilities won't kill in Valorant, huh? Also, when you hear that fire in the hole, you just have to chuckle and say, huh, I'm in danger. Getting killed by Raze's showstopper is one of the worst feelings in the game, as it just feels like there's no counterplay when they double satchel into you and shoot a rocket into your face. Agree? Disagree? Let me know what agent you guys absolutely hate playing against in the comments below, and if it is Raze, high five. Into the video we go, and this is a more subtle yet really nice tip I always see pro Jett players doing. It's smoking close to yourself after a kill. This might not seem like much, but it is a really nice tactic because Jett has 3 very fast deployable smokes and thrives in chaotic close situations. This kind of works in a way like a getaway tool, similar to Reyna's Dismiss, because after a kill, opponents will be looking to trade their teammates out and pushing. By deploying a smoke down fast and retreating after the initial kill, it eliminates the trade potential and you get away with a pick. This is great for when your dash isn't up and is really effective at disengaging from enemy line of sight. On attack, if you do get a pick and throw down a smoke, depending on how many enemies are around you, you might be able to dash through the smoke and get deep into enemy lines. You can create a lot of confusion and a lot of space for your teammates this way. Don't underestimate the power of a good smoke. Next up is another cloudburst tip. This time it's for one-way smokes. Jett's unique smoke deployment method allows her smoke to stick onto parts of the wall where it lands. Since it's so fast to deploy and you can also control where it goes by holding down the left click, you can place it on a wall where it's high enough that you can just see their feet. This is extremely useful when enemies are pushing into you on defense. If you do hear a bunch of footsteps and it's looking like a committed take by the opposing team, remember to throw down those one-ways. They will make the enemies hesitate on pushing in or have to push through an unfavorable one-way smoke where they all might get sprayed down. Very deadly stuff. These are great on defense and in post-plant situations. Definitely use this as much as you can. Moving on, or actually up for Updraft. Updraft is a bit tricky to use for newer players, but it's a very unique ability as there are many agents in Valorant that can't get onto a vertical angle. Especially for attack, acquiring different angles is really great. There are a lot of different spots you can use Updraft on when your team is pushing in. Some examples are Bind A Short and Haven A Short. For Bind A Short, when your team is about to push in, you can updraft onto the double boxes near Cubby and make yourself like a sentry watching over different angles while your teammates push in. It's a really effective way of controlling the site. As for Haven A Short, you can updraft actually onto the boxes close left when you exit A Short. Paired with some smokes and maybe flashes, it'll be a great take. Plus, if you still have your dash, you can just dash away as soon as you see somebody just to bait out their shots. As soon as your teammates know the enemy's locations, they will be a lot easier to kill. Jett is great at getting the enemy's attention. Even though updrafting might seem risky in these situations, by doing so, you also crack open their defense when they peek into your teammates running in and you on top. The difference in elevation makes it very tricky to hit and adjust to. Don't be afraid to die for the cause as Jett. That's a duelist's job. This time, updrafting on defense. Do this at the beginning of rounds to get a really nice off angle to kill opponents that do careless peeks. A great example of this is updrafting to the middle of Haven B. Whoever decides to peek through the window or lower grass usually will die to this off angle if you have an operator. Also on defense, when you hear them coming in, you can smoke to delay them a bit and maybe play some mind games by faking your updraft. If they are close enough, they'll hear your updraft and expect you to be on a high ground. From there, you can either choose to fall down or glide to another position. This will really confuse opponents and probably surprise them when you're just flat out on the ground. Always think about how enemies will react to your sound cues. There's very big outplay potential similar to Omen's Shrouded Step in these occasions with vertical play. Next up is Cypher's worst nightmare, which is Jett dashing through his trap wires. Cypher gets PTSD every time he hears a Jett dash. Jett is in an amazing place in the meta currently due to the operator and that also she's extremely good counter against Cypher. Anywhere Cypher's playing, Jett can just dash through his wires at will. This makes Jett an incredible counter Cypher, and if you're playing Jett, you should be leading the charge with your dash to clear Cypher traps if you know where he likes to place them. The most obvious example is on split B, where Cypher excels at, but this is applicable to anywhere you see Cypher is playing. Remember to dash through to break trap wires, but also position your dash so you aren't super exposed to the open. For example, on split, if you're dashing from B main to behind pillar, try not to expose yourself from heaven as much as possible. It won't always be perfectly safe, but hopefully your teammates can trade you out if things get a little hairy. Next up, no surprise here, it's going to be shotguns. All the shotguns are very good on Jett, but I'll specifically talk about the Judge right now. The Judge is a bit broken right now with its incredible aerial accuracy, as well as its range is very good for a shotgun. This gun is super easy to use, and Jett really makes the most use of this thing paired with her incredible mobility. You see a lot of players just dash and updraft and fall on top of their enemy with the shotgun. This thing absolutely destroys people, and then afterwards you can just trade out your gun for theirs if you want. This gun is great on half buys and even on full buy rounds depending on where you play. On defense, places like Haven Garage, Bind Hookah, and Split A main are great places to use this bad boy. On offense, you can dash in and updraft anywhere you think is a common close angle like Bind U-Haul. If you can, there's a sweet spot where you can go right above their head, which makes it very hard for them to kill you. Push your limits on Jett, as even a 1-for-1 is very good on the attacking side, and the space you create will be incredible for your teammates to come in on. The Judge only costs 1,500, so it's not too much to lose anyways. I do expect either the Judge or Jett to be nerfed soon, so use this while you still can. And moving on next, yes, yet another infamous weapon, the Operator. Yes, if you want to climb elo with Jett, the Operator will probably be your weapon of choice. The Operator is a very powerful point and click gun that kills in one shot unless it's a leg shot. Same thing as with the shotgun, alongside Jett's powerful mobility, she can take risks like no other agent can and get away with it. You'll see fantastic aimers like Wardell, Tens, and Asu always get a pick and dash away. When you pick up the Operator as Jett, you can't be afraid to push your limits and hold even further up. Try to always prod around and try to get that first pick in places like Bind Showers or Be Long. Even if you miss that first shot, remember you always have your safety net with dash and cloudburst. Again, to hammer it home, dash after you shoot if you're in danger, and then you have cloudburst on the side if you need a little bit more cover to get back to safety. Against enemy smokes too, this works, but it is a bit dangerous. You can push through enemy smokes and try to get a kill and dash away. No other agent can do this besides like Reyna with her dismiss. This will normally catch people off guard, as most agents will always get severely punished pushing through smokes, and the enemy won't think you're that crazy. Jett can be that crazy. Learn to make pushing aggressively through smokes as Jett a habit. Due to her dash, she can get a pick and live at a much higher success rate. But you know, knowing you'll probably still int. 'Tis the way of a Jett main. Shrugs. Lastly, we'll cover some tips with her knives next. Her knives are awesome, but with them, you actually have to kind of aim, which is hard for a lot of us to do, including me. I absolutely suck with these knives, but if you're really good with your aim, you always want to be in the air, hopping around, as these things are perfectly accurate in the air. This means you always want to be jumping off objects and be hopping around corners to make it harder for your opponents to hit you, at the same time giving you a little bit more time to calibrate for a headshot. In addition, always remember to use your right click ability in close proximity. Under 10 meters is probably your best bet for distance. Same thing as shotguns, dash and updraft combined with knives is a very strong combo and will net you the kill reset for more knives. Don't be afraid to pop your knives even on buy rounds when the round is close. If it's like a 3v3 and you have to clear some close corners, take out those bad boys. The close corner clearing potential is amazing, and the option to updraft and shoot enemies with great accuracy is good as well. There's just a lot of versatility with these knives. Of course, they are also great for making things happen on an eco round too. Go as ham as you can when you're using Bladestorm on an eco round, as you won't have much to lose, yet everything to gain. And the last tip we have for you today for this video is to save up your double updraft when you have your Bladestorm. There are a bunch of spots Jett can use double updraft on to give herself a vantage point to shoot unsuspecting enemies at. I think Haven is the best example for this. On Haven, there are many useful places to know that will net you important picks, such as the spot near A connector towards A site. This one is super useful to know on retakes. That spot essentially gives you an aerial view, clearing anybody that might be on site while your team is retaking from spawn and heaven. An extra avenue for retaking is extremely powerful when coordinated. Remember to use your glide when you're using your updraft to give yourself more time in the air if safe to do so. And here we come to the end. That was a lot of useful Jett tips we covered in this video. Hopefully this video was helpful and guides you towards your path of being the pro Jett you always see in highlight reels. Always appreciate the support, ProGuides family, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. As always, my name is Trey, and try not to int too hard in your rank games, please. Have fun, and I'll be signing out. Peace out, guys.